Hello, sixth graders. This is Mrs. Hebert, and today we are going to be starting Module 16. And so the first lesson is lesson 16.1. We'll be talking about measures of center and specifically mean and median. So set up your page if you can with, let me see if I can move this over just a little bit so you can see it. There we go. If you can set up your page with 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and probably the second section will be slightly bigger than the other sections, and we'll go straight across. In the first box, we're just going to write a few definitions. So the first definition is a measure of center, and a measure of center is a single number used to describe a set of numeric data. It describes a typical value from the data set. A mean is the average of a data set, and you find it by finding the sum of the values and then divide them by the number of values that you have. And then the median is the middle value of an ordered data set. And we'll get into those in more detail as we go. Okay, in box 2, we're going to look at finding the mean. And to find the mean, there are 2 steps. The first step is to add the values, and the second step is to divide that sum by the number of values you added. So for example, Tamara surveyed 5 of her friends to find out how many siblings they have. And in the chart, you can see that Amy has 2, Ben has 3, Cal has 1, Dawn has 1, Eva has 3. So step 1 is to add them together. So I'm going to take 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3, and I get a total of 10. So then I take that sum, 10, and I divide it by however many values I added. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So 10 divided by 5 equals 2. And that is my mean or my average. Okay, in box number 3, we're going to talk about finding the median or the middle number. And there are 2 steps. The first step is to put the values in order from least to greatest, and make sure that you write each value even if it repeats. So if you have a value that shows up 3 times in your data, you need to write it 3 times in this step. So we're going to use the numbers from the previous example of number of siblings, and we're going to put them in order. So we're going to put them in order. This time it will be 1, 1, 2, 3, and 3, because we had Cal and Dawn each had 1 sibling. Amy had 2 siblings, and then Ben and Eva had 3 siblings each. So that's where we get the duplicate numbers. So we start, for step 2, we start from the outside and we move toward the center from each side until we get to the middle. So we have 1 and 3, then another 1 and 3, and then 2 is in the middle, so that is our median or our middle number. Now, sometimes when you get to the middle, you won't come to 1 number. You'll have 2 numbers that are in the middle. And so possibly an example, let me see if I can do one. Maybe if we had 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. Let's see how that works. So let's start from the outside, 1 and 4. Then again, 1 and 4. And now in the middle, we have 2 middle numbers, 2 and 3. So we go halfway between that, which is 2.5, but we could also do 2 plus 3 equals 5, and then divide that by 2, and we get 2.5, or 2.5 is our median. Okay, so that's how you do it if you end up with 2 numbers in the middle. Okay. In box number 4, we're going to talk about finding the mean and median. We're just going to practice it. And we have a set of test scores, and there are a lot of test scores here. So 87, 90, 77, 83, 99, 94, 93, 90, 85, and 83. So to find the mean, I'm going to add the values, and if I add them all up, okay, if I add these all up together, and I don't know if I can write small enough, but let's say I can, 87 plus 90 plus 77 plus 83 plus 99, plus 94, plus 93, plus 90, plus 85, plus 83. My total is 881. Okay, so I added those up, and I get 881. Then I divide that by how many values I have, and in this case, I have 10 values. So I'm going to take 881, and I'm going to divide by 10, and I get 88.1, and that is my mean or my average. Now for the median, I'm going to order the numbers from smallest to largest, and then I'm going to move to the center. So I'm going to move this down here. You may have room on yours to put it right next to it, but I don't on this. So I'm going to order the numbers. So if I order them, I go from it starts with 77, then 83, 83 again, 85, 87, 90 again, 93, 94, and 99. And I start counting in to find the median. I start from the left and right and on the outside and count in. So I have 77 and 99. Then I have 83 and 94, 83 and 93, 85 and 90. And then I have 87 and 90 in the middle. So again, my step 2 is I'm going to add those two. So 87 plus 90. And I get 177. And then I divide that by 2. And if I divide that, I get 88.5. And that is the median. You can talk, I'm listening now.
How do I make green
So I'm
beans?
going to label this my median. You just put them in a pan and put a little butter in them, and you boil them, and you let them cook for a while.
Boil them?
Okay? I boil them, yeah.
So I put water in there?
Nope, it has water in it already in the can. Just don't drain the green beans. Okay? Okay, so this is what your paper should look like, or very similar to this anyway, when you're done. And the only thing is I have to change on my copy because I made it beforehand and didn't catch that I wrote mean at the bottom and it should be median. So just make sure that you write that this last thing we found was the median, MEDIAN. And we're done. Good job.